Bonjour et bienvenue dans cette nouvelle vidéo. I just wanted to make a video today to talk about Anki. If you're here watching this video, then you probably already know what Anki is. I've used Anki, and before I started using it, I had seen it everywhere, all over language learning forums and on other places on the internet of people using it to study medical terminology and things like that. And I always wondered if it was actually any good. I mean, it's a free application, an open source application. If you don't know what open source means, it basically means that it's people develop a software or an application and they let other people use it for free. And anyone can contribute to it. Obviously, you need to know how to program an application, but that's what it means by open source. But anyway, Anki is open source, and it's a language learning tool. Sorry, just my timer going off. Anki's a language learning tool, and I wanted to use it because I love languages. I'm really into learning languages, and but I hadn't done it for a while, and I thought if everyone's praising it, then it must be good. Unfortunately, as soon as I started using it, and it was difficult to use, it's hard to get into, but it's been made with its users in mind. It's not a for-profit application, so it's not developed with the intention of making, keeping you excuse me, keeping you stuck in the app like most apps today are, like Facebook or something like that, or Instagram or whatever, with the way they, with notifications and all that extra stuff that the way they place, create user friendliness, I guess. They don't want the app to upset you, because if it's hard to use or complicated to get into, in most apps these days, you log on and straight away something's happening. There's nothing like that with Anki. There's not When you get onto the app, there's nothing telling you what to do or how to use it. There's no tutorial or anything like that. So it can be kind of convoluted in order to get started, because you sort of have to, before you can even start learning what you want to learn, you have to learn how to use Anki. But that doesn't mean Anki's good. But anyway, as soon as I started using it, I started to get these videos on YouTube suggested to me, and I was actually making some progress with it. I was really getting into studying with it, and it was helping me push my progress in language learning a lot further. But I started to get these videos that would give me reasons why I shouldn't use Anki, and why Anki won't make you fluent or won't help, is not good enough for language learning. Let me just put this forward before anything else. If the tool helps you learn, then it's good enough. It doesn't need to be. I think there's this obsession in our world of like how we tear something else. Something that is good enough needs to be torn down because something can somehow, in a different way, do it better. But the reality is that if you don't know how to use that application, it's going to take time, resources, effort for you to learn how to use it anyway. So if the application you're using, Anki in this example, is good enough, that if you have a rhythm that you're in with using a tool to get to meet the goal you want, then you should just stick with using that tool. I mean, most in terms of applications, like something like Anki, 20 years ago, people, I mean, I don't even think when I was studying Japanese in high school that Anki was available. The internet had only just come about. I'm 34, so that was like, I guess almost 20 years ago now, 20 years since I started learning Japanese. Maybe 19 years. So at that time, those things weren't available. And now we have so many tools available, and like in terms of what Anki can provide for you, just to give you exposure to languages and new vocab, new sentences, whatever, is just surpasses anything that we would have had 20 or 30 years ago. So, and I mean, it's being updated by constantly being updated and maintained by a very passionate group of developers. So why not take advantage of it? I want to get to the point of, will it make you fluent though? No, I mean, the reality is that nothing will make you fluent, okay? At the end of the day, you always have to do the work yourself. It seems ridiculous to say Anki will make you fluent or Anki will make you proficient in a language. Anki won't do anything. I mean, it's just in the same way as like using Duolingo won't make you fluent. I know it seems a bit, perhaps it comes off as obvious to say that, but that's these kind of critical videos, these criticisms that come at any tool, let's say, not even just Anki, any tool that's available, always come with these black and white statements like that somehow the app is like has this power over you. It's just a tool like any other tool. You know, you can buy a set of hammers, but hammers themselves won't whack nails into wood, will they? In order for you to build a cabinet or whatever. So at the end of the day, it's just a tool to help you get something done. So no, Anki won't make you fluent. And anyway, in language learning, the reality is that it uses basically all of your senses. You know, your thinking, your seeing, your hearing, and your speaking. Like, the only thing it doesn't use is your nose. And you could even say that maybe there is a part of language learning that includes the olfactory senses. So yeah, just using Anki alone probably won't make you fluent. If anything, it will teach you can learn thousands and thousands of words in a language, and then you'll know tons of vocabulary. But once you know so much vocabulary, surely there's something you can do with that. I mean, you might not be able to speak fluent Portuguese once you know 10,000 Portuguese words, but you surely be able to get something done. Okay. And I mean, the thing is, you can even use Anki to learn grammar, to memorize grammar rules if you want to. That's not necessarily fun. It's kind of boring. But let's say you use Anki to learn some vocabulary, and then you go and you watch a Netflix, a YouTube, whatever, a streaming, a TV show in your target language, they call it, the language you want to learn, your target language, or you are actively learning, you're progressing in. Go and watch your target, the TV show in your target language, and then you could see some of the words that you've learned with Anki. That's the whole point of it. It's just you see the word and it's like, oh, okay, now I know one of its meanings, because always words in languages have multiple meanings. So you know one of its meanings, and now I can see how it's applied in this context as well. Even for me, I learned Japanese and then I went to Japan and I was amongst Japanese people all the time. So there are words, you always learn words that can be used in multiple different contexts. There's no point in you trying, like, it's too confusing to try and learn all the different meanings of one word all in one go. You just learn one meaning and then you will come to learn how it can be applied in different contexts. And what I mean by that is the idiomatic meanings. So there can be certain idioms or whatever, like in English. Let's say, what's the example they always use? It's raining cats and dogs. No one really says that, but everyone knows what it means. Uh, so but what a cat and a dog are. It's raining cats and dogs, but or he kicked the bucket, for example, to mean he died. It's just kind of it's a way of softening getting around the very bland and kind of abrupt way of saying he died or she died or whatever. So what a bucket is, and what kick means. He kicked the bucket. Why? Okay, so unless there's literally a bucket around, that's got to mean something else. So you learn a word, but it's not, you don't even necessarily need to know the meaning of a word, but once you've been exposed to a word, you're starting to learn it, basically. Just think about it in English. When you first see a word or hear a word, you don't really know what it means. Even if someone explains to you, it means this and this and this, you have to wait until you see it again, or you try and use it and get it wrong, or you see it written in a book, many different times to understand, okay, this is what this word means or how it's used. So all of that to say that I think you should give Anki a go, and don't listen to the naysayers. I saw a video by Luca Lamparello, whatever his name is, and apparently he's Mr. Hyper Polyglot, so he would know how to learn languages. But I mean, once you've learned like 14, 15 languages, what's even the point anymore? Like, I thought the point of learning a language is so that you can speak to people, like get to know people. Like, you're in your whole lifetime, are you really going to have the chance to go, like, every year you have to move to a new country? You might be able to remember have an understanding of 14 or 15 languages, but I doubt you can have like a fun and interesting and get along with people really, really well in every single language. Like, you can, like, just imagine how, well, I know some of you out there are probably incompetent with no social skills, but imagine imagine a better you where you do have those skills and you can talk to people all of the time, so, and get along with people and have fun and make jokes or whatever. Talk about your interests easily and openly, and everything glides smoothly. And speaking in a foreign language, doing that like 15 different ways, it's a bit crazy. But it doesn't matter, forget all about that. They say it's not good, but it is good enough. That's what I think anyway.